After gaining a deeper understanding of Shu from the toast, the outsiders who stumbled into Langqiu had a consensus. Considering their unbridled power, she believed it was necessary to be better prepared before engaging with the living Shu. And they only knew one way to do it. Come, give me your hand. Hopefully, it will be one of the good days. Amber Street, have we once again? Looks like we discovered another teleporter. Great. But this can't be. Looks like it's been used at the Data Research Institute for a long time. Given its spatial distinctiveness, it's become a hazard we can't easily touch. Why are you so sure? If I had its help? Songque, although you've said this many times, your mentor is also a Shu, right? I reckon he's done many deeds. That's hard to say. For the good old family he was born into, he's more of a traitor. For a certain woman I know, he's more of a walking disaster. But if you ask the public, the answer is simple. He's an ordinary celestial. There's nothing ordinary about that. Anyway, unlike where we've been, this is Amber Street in the past, right? Yes, but since we wandered into it, I'm afraid it'd take quite a while to figure out how far back into the past we are. But you've got me. Weird. It isn't that late. Why is Amber Street so empty? Seems like you've got some misconceptions about the Amber Street we've been before. I thought we could save the business. We've done our best. There's nothing we can do. Let's go. In these troubled times, we should already be thankful that we're safe. Seems like businesses are suffering, but what does troubled time mean? Maybe it refers to the disaster caused by the shadows? Strange, it shouldn't be like this. I mean, Amber Street has seen some difficult times, but I shouldn't have moved in at that time. It can't be just a coincidence, right? Isn't this how it always is? Fortune smiled down on me. Is this a tea house? Zhan's Tea House is an old establishment on Amber Street. Have you heard of it, Entropy? When we return, I'll treat you all to some tea time. It's a shame this place couldn't be preserved in Oxia. Uncle, it's been a while. Are things still the same all around here? That's completely different from the rumors out there. Things don't seem that bad in Amber Street. Ah, Uncle, have you just gotten back from an outing? Heard some gossip? Oh, is this stuff like shadows devouring people? Well, these stories even made it to the newspapers. Still, it's unavoidable. Just like people drowning every year. Life still has to go on, you know? That's what everyone say. And Terry City is such a big place. Why is it only this street that's haunted by the shadows? Why is it only this street? Ah, that sounds familiar. No, Entropy, how do we get out of here? Songque, this is your body. I'm afraid we're in for some trouble. If it's the Amber Street from before, how is she not here? Before everything happened, in the not-too-distant past. That strange power, imbued with the power to traverse time and space, was about to make its mark upon this particular place 100 years ago. Along with its owner's needle-sharp mind. Have I made myself clear? I don't need anyone to accompany me. Did you really think you could be of any use in that negotiation? Miss Bell? Are you saying that my name is Bell? You may be dressed quite immaculately, but you're nowhere near as pleasing to me as she was. What's your name? I'm your new butler, James. And what about me? Try addressing me once more. Thelema, milady. All right, you can go now. There's someone else who should know the rules better than you do. And as for you, including you and every servant belonging to the Nupliscu family, I'm firing all of you. This is a real bummer. A place ravaged by shadows, a servant with an ulterior motive, long-lost nobility, lurking me here in the name of my family. Fine, you've got my curiosity. I dare not walk around like this at night, to be honest with you. So far my luck has steered me clear of it, but I heard the shadow calamity on Amber Street is worsening by the day. Yet, you can still carry on with your life. I'm unsure about that, but isn't everywhere like this in Antares now? Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed here. It's completely unlike the rumors. The cursed land that forbids life. How could it look like this? Much appreciated. By the way, your taste is far better than the sights I see on the street. At least, it wouldn't make me want to give you a new outfit. Mr. Get lost, Brad. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Would you... You deaf or what? I don't have the time to talk with a brat. Go home and ask your daddy the stories of shadows. I do follow human speech, but it would seem that somebody doesn't consider himself human. I knew the aristocratic act wouldn't work. Well then... Hey, are you calling a dog? You stupid brat, His barking ended then and there, It wouldn't be difficult for anyone present to notice how this man lost the light in his eyes in a flash. This is more like it. Now answer me. Did anything strange happen nearby?
这附近发生过什么怪事吗？
Yes, Lady Selima. Not much happened, just petty matters. Take the Wu Pharmacy behind me, for example. It's a long-standing, reputable pharmacy. But some time ago, an epidemic of unknown origin spread through the street, and many came here to get medicine. However, the owner prescribed the wrong medicine and got many sick. The business closed not long after. The other stores are similar. The fast food restaurant cooks worse. The pawn shop stole its clients' items. The clock store's owner fell and broke his back. These aren't news. Looks like someone's following me. You didn't run away after what just happened. Are you brave or just? I should have known. If you felt differently, it'd be hard to back out, huh? So those old leaders' commands carry more weight than your lady. It can't be helped. I'm an irresponsible, hedonist matriarch after all. Surely you've heard the rumors. The tower, the secret chamber, the disappearing servants, and the strange torture instruments. She doesn't seem like the one whom you should submit to. Although those leaders are control freaks, only those born with the Nutrisco name can run the Nutrisco family. I came to Amber Street personally merely because I'm interested in it. Interested, but this place... Yes, my father crushed the Bai family and passed away shortly after. Naturally, I became the object of their vengeance. The heir of the Bais must have acted while he went missing, and let's not forget about the anomalies and rumors. Don't you think this place has become more exciting? Seeing I'm almost bored with these forms of entertainment, someone went ahead and prepared new ones. Which means we don't need to do anything to accomplish the mission from the elders? Or... For no reason, he felt a tinge of fear built on apprehension. If the girl didn't have the confidence to walk away from such danger, that would make her a far more terrifying existence than the former. 100 years ago, the title Shoe of Pleasure had not run out across the terrace with the mad feast that everyone has come to know today. But the power that belonged to her was sprouting in secret and under some clever disguise. Was exercising its right to trample. Milady, what are you? Don't worry, they're just back to the way they ought to be. And soon, you'll just be like them and learn how to kneel before me. The elders in the family are your true masters, yes? So you're not actually afraid of me, but of those old geezers who sent you to monitor me. I'm not that naive. First, they snatch a large share of the industry market. Then they sent me, the only person qualified to negotiate with the Bai family. And finally, they arrange for someone to keep an eye on me. In the best case, if I make even the slightest mistake, a report impeaching me will be sitting at their desks. But in the worst case, if I were to unfortunately perish in the shadow calamity, that would suit them even better. That's the gist of it, isn't it, little dove? That has robbed you of your freedom, hasn't it? You refuse to accept life as someone's underling, terrified at the thought of losing your freedom forever. But do you have a choice? Becoming someone else's lackey, serving as a pawn in their schemes. Did you think you could erase your past failures with that? You couldn't even stalk me properly. What do you think will happen to you when you go back? I didn't expect. How has it come to this? Indeed, that's why I said there is no person you should submit to in this world, but only the person you must submit to. Now then, kneel. Empty your mind, stop thinking, and let me dominate you. That's your only value. I submit to you, Lady Selima. Then I'll accept your loyalty and your fear. At this moment, the ritual known as fear gathering had not yet become a necessity of life in Langqiu, and even the title Shu didn't bear the significance that would be later granted by the man whose surname was Bai. But indeed, there was more than one person who had already discovered the subtle connection between fear and shadows at this moment, and had used their own means to exploit it. The best way to control 10 people with 10 bullets is to control 9 people with 9 bullets. And as someone of higher status who knew well how to manipulate fear, she could naturally subdue fear more easily. Although the butler involuntarily assumed a respectful posture, he appeared to not have completely lost himself. There was still a gleam in his eyes. However, that gleam in his eyes screamed of fear and anger. Yes, I haven't stripped you of your awareness needlessly. I just want you to kneel, while your mind is filled with your anxious thoughts. It's more interesting to tease a pet that can bite, isn't it? Anyway, given your poor skills, you barely pass, so you serve as a coarse cloth. Although the butler's rank was defined by the girl with a rather strange term, he no longer could show hesitation. Yes, milady. Lady Selima is correct, as always. How may I serve you? It's not the time yet. Besides, with your true form, you can't help me much.
看来不仅仅是
It
一只
seems
呢。
there's more than one rat.
躲猫
Hide and
猫呢？
seek. A
原始
primitive
的游戏
game, but
倒
an
也挺有趣
interesting
的。
one
不过
nonetheless.
抓只老鼠
But I
倒
will
也
need to
用不着
break a
我亲
sweat
自干苦
just
力。
to catch a
刚
mouse.
好到你效劳
Well
的时候
then,
了。
it's time for you to be of service.
得，
Fine, fine, fine.
咱什么也没看见啊！
I didn't see nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
你要是需要咱听话，说一句就成。
If you need me to be obedient, just say the word. I'm good at taking orders.
好啊，那把那身碍眼的麻袋先
Well,
脱掉吧。
taking this gummy sack off you would be a good start. It's too atrocious to look at.
反正天还不怎么冷。
It's not that cold anyway.
兜里也没什么钱。
And it's not like I have tons of cash in my pocket.
等会儿要让咱自己把衣服叠好吗？
Do I need to fold it later?
你这家伙倒还有点意思呢。
You're quite an interesting one.
我倒觉得你矫健得很，可不像
You
是个
look
老实
rather
本分
strong
的
and
人。
quick to me. Doesn't seem you're doing honest business.
哎，谁叫咱也就只有腿脚麻利
Well,
这一条
quick
长
legs
腿
are all I
哪有
got.
便宜捡
Where
咱
there's
就
good
往哪
stuff,
走，
there's
修完
me.
了不就捡不着了？哦，那你又是捡了谁的便宜？
So,
才
what's
非
the
得
good
鬼鬼祟
stuff
祟
that
跟
made
在
you
我身
follow
后
me
不可？
like a rat?
您看上去就气度不凡，
You look
味道
noble
全正。
and important.
我倒不是想纠正你，
Oh, I wasn't trying to correct
你
you.
猜的也没错。
Your
只
guess
是
was
杀来
on
杀
point,
去，
but killing really is below me.
我呀，
It's too simple and fast for my
更
taste.
不会在取乐的时候玩的那么简单。斯里姆大人想先去哪儿？要不要咱先带
Lady
斯里姆大人去
Salima,
吃点东西？
how about I take you to get something to eat? Thinking of the street view she had previously seen, she frowned unconsciously. The folklore says people from high places are easily attracted by street snacks.
用不着，
No need. I'm looking for someone called Baiji.
他与琥珀街
He
的
may
传
have
闻或许
something
有
to do with the
关，
Amber
或许无
Street
关。
rumors, or may not.
但这里的景象和我听过的传闻
But
完
what I
全不
saw
同。
here is completely
我
different
倒是
from
不
what I
相信
heard.
他已经做
I
到
find
了
it hard
那
to
种事。
believe he has done that.
总之，按照你的小道消息，
Anyway, do you know any suspicious place around
越
here?
奇怪越好
The。more bizarre, the better.
好
No
说好说
problem at all,
自己
Lady
带
Salima.
行走江湖，
Information
咱
is my
靠的就是
livelihood.
消息灵通呀。跟再来吧。如今
Come
这
with
世道
me.
好事儿
In
没有
today's
几个
world,
但您要是
good
想找
things
些
rarely
麻烦
happen.
那倒
But
是
if
见
you're
不
looking for
得
trouble, you don't need to look far.
这又是什么地方？这个嘛，
What is
那位
this
白
place?
吉咱倒是没听说过。
Well, I never heard of
但要
someone
提
called
起怪
Baiji.
事和姓白的人，咱能想到的
But
就只
speaking
有
of
这儿了。
strange things and people with the family name Bai, this is the only thing that pops up.
你们是
You must be sent by Mr. Bai, right? Come on in.
我
It
想想，
started about a month
大概
ago.
是
I
一个
got
月
this
前
headache
开始
every
的
late night.
一到
I
半
didn't
夜
think
就
much
头
at first,
疼。
but it
本
grew
来我
worse
也
and
没当
worse.
回事儿，可没想到这病越来越厉害，吃什么药都不见好。
I told my neighbors about it, and pretty soon someone came to me and told me it was the shadow disease. They said it was a kind of shadow calamity, and the only cure was the potion they made. I was doubtful, but after one potion, my headache became much better that night. I can't picture him swindling old ladies. You mean this Mr. Bai is a fake? We'll know pretty soon. Don't forget, the so-called Mr. Bai said he'd pay a visit today. Someone took the bait. I'm about to see if you bit off more than you can chew. Hey you, stand still. Name? Aurora. Status? Stay silent all you want, but judging by your skills, you're one of the lanterns, aren't you? Why? You're a stray dog who have left the organization. Seems I've struck a nerve. No wonder you're not even wearing a uniform. Quite tragic, isn't it? A former warrior fighting against the shadows, now making a living by disguising as one. The person who hired you has some sense of humor. How did you end up like this? Let me guess. What you're afraid of is a truly formidable enemy. Powerful monsters born from the shadows. I don't intend to imagine such filth, but I can guess to some extent. Your body may not have suffered permanent damage, but your spirit has been completely crushed, hasn't it? That's why you escape from the front lines of battle against the shadows, even though you know that fighting is your only forte. That's why you willingly became a hired thug in these back alleys, because you know there are no formidable enemies here. However, your comfort zone has now been shattered by me. Aura, taken in as a servant, recounted her employment history with her usual lifeless look. So, you don't know who this Mr. Bai is either. Sorry, Lady Salima, he never showed his face. I only received orders from time to time to help him spread the rumors about the shadows and handle people who question the existence of shadows. Sometimes I would sabotage their businesses as a warning. Why is this always Amber Street? Looks like they might throw this question at you. No way he's the man from the Bai family. What he plans to do here goes against the information received by the family. Or she thought about the many coincidences she had run into before. Isn't everything going too well? The reason they sent me here sounded legit, but the tricks the old ones are playing here are so tasteless. Lady Selima, what can I do for you?
你嘛，
As for you,
虽说比起自
you're
己的
the
头
worst
脑只
kind,
算得上末了，
but you might just
但当我真
suffice
心的还
as
可
a
以。
weaving shuttle.
去，带我把小雀子
Go
找
and
回
find
来。
little Ch1 for me.
去，
Go, don't make me regret taking you in. It's Lady
是瑟利
Selima.
姆大人，咱还以为
I
见不
thought I
到
would
你
never
了
go
呢。
to see you again.
咱可担心
I was
死
so
您
worried
了。
about you
刚才
that I
太着
grabbed
急
the wrong
结果追
person by
错了人。
mistake.
哎呦，那人也真是的，
Isn't it just
朝
like
着一个方
him?
向跑个不
Always
停，
running
跟做了
away
什么
like
亏
he's
心事儿
done
似的。
something wrong.
等等，瑟利姆大人，
Wait, Lady Selima, this is...
啊，
Come here and say hello.
我是奥罗拉，
I'm
瑟利姆
Aurora.
大人刚
Lady
收的。
Selima has just taken me in. She gave Songque a concise rundown.
啊，
So all the
这么
weird
说
stuff happening
附
on
近的
Amber
影像全都是
Street
假的，
is all fake.
这可真是。
I can't believe it.
咱
We
还以为
came
我
here
们
to
捞一
make a
笔呢，
buck,
到头来
but someone
是
else
别
is
人给捞
cashing
了呀。
in.
可是，
Wait,
堂堂
this
瑟利
isn't
姆大
right,
人，
Lady
这不对
Selima.
吧？就算之前那几件事都有
Even
蹊
if
跷，
those
但
happenings
要
were
是没人
fishy,
闻到，
who
谁
would
会想
ever
到他
think
有
of
人在
making
发财
money
呀？
off a shadow calamity if they don't have some
果真还
ways?
没结束。
It's not over yet.
瑟
Lady
利姆大
Selima?
人，我在听。
I'm listening.
咱之前听说过好
I've
多
heard a
次
couple
了。
times
琥珀
that
街
there's
附
a
近有个
place
人
near
迹罕
Amber
至的地
Street
方，
and off the
那
beaten
里好
path
像见到
where
过
some
从影
monsters
子里
were
钻出来
seen
的
jumping
鬼
out of the shadows.
“您这边请。
This way, please.
终于停下了吗？
Is it finally over?
看样子是这里的复现太
The
不完善，
reenactment
把
was
我
so
们也卷进去了
faithful
吧
that it drew us in, it seems.
这么说，
So she
享乐之术，
manipulates
它
others
能用来
with
在
the
影子
power
的
of
力量
shadows.
操纵别人的心智。因为完全是作用于
It
心
is
灵的
because
能
the
力，
ability to
反
act
倒
on
也
the
能影响
mind
现实中
affects
的
our
我们。
reality as well.
也或许和
Or
欧
is
夏与
it
廊丘的再次
something
联
to
合
do
有
with the
关。
connection between Oxia and Langqiu?
现在，
And
我们
now,
所处的
our
现实
reality is
也同
also
样处于影子的
dictated
规
by
则
the
之下。
shadows. Dad! Daddy! Don't die!
不要
Please
死！
don't leave me!
不要死！
这
Look
是
at
像什么样
yourself.
子？
From
从
today
今天
onward,
起，
you're
你
supposed
应
to be
该
the
是努
head
特
of
里
the
斯科的
Nutri
主
School
人，主
family.
办事务
All matters
将
will
再
be
由
taken
我
into
们
our
代
hands
管。
for now.
但
But
你
you must
绝
not
不能
let
给
others
外
see
人
you
看
like
这副
this.
样子。
Go back to
回
your
房
room.
间去。
多嘴
Keep
多
your
舌。
mouth shut.
嗯
Makes sense.
该从哪
But
里
where
找
should
起
we
呢？
start?
要不瑟利姆大
Lady
人，
Selima,
跟咱
why
去之
don't
前接
we
头的地
try
方
our
碰碰运
luck
气？
bad at where we meet?
就是这边
This
了，
is
瑟利
it,
姆大
Lady
人。
Selima.
一般
Usually
是
you
把
put
信
an
封放在指
envelope
定
in
的
the
位置，
designated
然后等着
location
发
and wait for
钱。
others to retrieve it.
将
It's
这
on
个
top
放
of
在
that
房顶上，
building.
房顶。
Leave it to me. I'll just climb up. I won't allow it. If you dare soil my clothes, did you think you can climb higher than someone capable of flying? Regardless of how street smart she was, at least luck was on her side now. It's too late. A carefully hidden letter had been found, but it only conveyed a revealed identity and urged allies to withdraw. Did we give ourselves away, Lady Selima? Maybe we should call it a day. Although I'm no longer as free as I used to be, I finally found a way to make a living. You sure think far ahead. I'll consider it after we find Mr. Bai. Do you really want to bother with a medicine con man? I see that you're in a hurry to return to your cage. It's not that simple. I want to find him. He might not be the one doing these things, but the so-called Mr. Bai might really be his work. Falsehood. It's just as the rumors say. Yes, Lady Selima is always right. The girl frowned. She never took control of Songque's mind. I don't really get it, but I'm sure you're right. I'll be frank with you. Regarding those shadow calamities you know of, that Bai intends to do something here once and for all. An imposter and a few shadow calamities aren't enough to get me to come here. Do you really think I'm willing to stay? I still don't get it. Again, where should I begin looking? Looking? There's no need. Coarse clothes, weaving shuttle, clothes hanger, dress form. I'm still missing a shoe rack. Lady Selima, are you going to? That's right. Count everyone in. I'll make this entire street my servant. A little while later, as the audience on Amber Street grew, the imposter has nowhere to run. Very well, only one left.
是
Got you
抓到你
now.
了！
This is Mr. Bai. Why does he look like a grandpa? The people in charge have finished investigating. Starting from last month, rumors of shadow disease suddenly spread throughout Amber Street. Coincidentally, a group of people calling themselves Mr. Bai began selling talisman water. Unfortunately, the talisman water never had any effect, and the shadow disease patients were just middle-aged and elderly people with common illness. As for Mr. Bai, although we haven't been able to contact the real person yet, the glaring flaws in your actions, your pathetic imitation of a posh accent, and the fact that the Bai family crest you trace is missing 2 strokes. All expose your true identity as an imposter. But even if such a group of people really exists, what does it have to do with me? It's only been a few days, so you surely haven't forgotten about your old friends on the shopping street, have you? You're familiar with the residents of Amber Street. You have channels to spread rumors and methods to find victims. You even have professional knowledge of pharmacy. Oh, by the way, didn't the pharmacy on Amber Street close recently? Your old neighbor have recognized your face, the former shopkeeper of Wu Pharmacy. Damn it. I was forced to do all this. It's not my fault I can't cure the shadow disease. Throughout the generations, who's ever seen such strange illness? Just because of that wrong prescription, the pharmacist's reputation plummeted and had to close down. The reputation of Wu Pharmacy was tarnished, so I had to borrow the reputation of the Bai family. Why? Because no one believed in my old prescriptions. I only trusted that young nobleman who was doing research. And I didn't even lie. Tell me, isn't the shadow calamity real? Aren't those patients really getting cured? Since both of these things are true, what have I done wrong? First of all, your dirty and despicable methods that are even worse than the shadows have already been figured out by my servants. There was indeed a shadow calamity, but faking paranormal phenomena and hiring thugs to attack those who suspect you. You can pin that on the shadows. Secondly, since you're an imposter, you might not know this. Shadows need to be nourished by fear before they can grow. You spread rumors, sow discord, and through deceitful means, make the people here firmly believe in the existence of shadows. This is clearly nurturing the shadow with your own hand, cultivating the very monster that destroyed your career. You're just afraid of being punished. You may appear to control the shadow, but in reality, the shadow controls you. And soon, both of you will be under my control. Noble individuals can tame beasts and turn them into pets, but you may not even be a human. Nino. Come, let me see what tricks the real Mr. Bai is playing at, hidden behind this powder. Just like the others who were dominated, Mr. Bai obeyed Selima's call and reached out his hand. Then, starting from his fingertips, his body shattered without any warning and dissipated into a puff of black smoke. Please, Selima, it's a ghost! Oh, little Ch1, dumb pets aren't cute. Aside from Song-Ch, the other servants that surrounded Selima collapsed, like Mr. Bai, and disappeared with the wind. Amber Street is fraught with danger. The rumors are true. Amber Street is peaceful and calm, with only a few petty thieves causing trouble. What we saw was also true. But who ever said that these two things are contradictory? Except for you and me and my pets. From the very beginning, Amber Street has been empty, and it's not just you who was acting. Could it be what we saw are all? Exactly. What we saw was a shadow calamity that enshrouded the entire Amber Street. You're lucky, little Ch1. Now we've just reached the opening act. The world shattered, then reassembled once more. The Amber Street that belonged to Selima suddenly burst like a bubble, revealing false truth and cruel reality. Lady Selima, what is happening? Alright, this is the actual Amber Street where I, Selima, should have arrived. You think I really wanted to talk to them in as servants? I'll have you know that I'm extremely selective, even when it comes to pets. The hum? These illusions were created by shadows. Naturally, to reveal their true forms, their shadows must be removed. Stand behind me. The role of pets and servants is just to applaud. Now, it's time for the master to make an entrance. Did we make it out? Isn't this literally the worst timing? So, what did we actually see in the end? Why were there two Amber Streets? This time, I'm really not sure. Not that I can't recall, but I never remembered. Maybe there was some kind of accident back then. I don't know. It seems like we were knocked out by Selima afterwards. But if everything you saw was a shadow, how was she able to control them? Might she have established a connection with them and used a method similar to fear gathering to draw upon the power of the 10 Faces of Misery? But that still explains why they would listen to Selima. Those garments, they are used for... Seems like she's using the garments to delineate their social classes, but I'm not sure if it's related to the Shadow's rules. But based on the results, she certainly made the idea of turning someone into whatever she described a reality. But this is just a speculation. By tapping into the fear of others, she can make them submit to her and exert control over them. That's the essence. Then that means... See? I told you since the beginning, don't dig up the ancient history. I guess we'll have to try again later. Well, it's not like it's being entirely fruitless. But for now, it's time to return to Langqiu. By the way, Songque, when she personally needed Garrett for you, of the 7 days of wickedness, half yet remains. The king's majesty all turned out to be an illusion.
是这边吗？我不太擅长这个。跑起来了！西纳迪亚正在接近目标。跑起来了！开箱寻宝，多多益善。
Looks like the data monitor room has captured some new information. But out of nowhere, my communicator just started getting all these reports. I'm guessing only Chen Xue would do something like this. She does give off a strong motherly energy. I knew it. It seems that the past experience has awakened again, right? But we didn't do anything, did we? I'm not sure. Perhaps the way the shadow's rules seeped into Axia brought about other effects. Maybe this is not Songque's past, but rather the memories of the shadow itself. See, even she can tell that it's a bit far-fetched. But that's not important. What's more important is to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Considering the unintended damage before, we must be careful when approaching them this time. But where have they ended up now? You really can't remember, Songque. It's tough for me to remember such trivial details. But Amber Street isn't too big. We might run into them. Let me be clear. From the moment I accepted the first servant, I knew that there were no living beings here. Right at the same spot, there are 2 Amber Streets. But that means that it's haunted? Lady Delima, shouldn't we escape now? They say that when someone dies with deep resentment, they will continue to haunt the place they died and bring harm to others. Are we having the exact same thing? If that aren't the case, I would hardly have lingered here till now. Ghostly hauntings hardly happened before, yet just I was about to have Amber Street under my control, all this happened. Perhaps you could stand to use your head a little more. Right, stay calm. Ah, I got it. You're the real ghost, aren't you, Lady Selima? No matter. I suppose even a not-so-smart pet has its own charms. You saw with your own eyes that those people from before, they were nothing more than counterfeits created by shadows. As for the servants, little Ch1, did you think I was born with the power to dominate minds? Wait. It's nothing but a trick that was bestowed by the shadows. However, creating a whole neighborhood out of thin air, along with the residents, that's far beyond my capabilities. True to her nature, she ended up lightly dismissing the conclusion that might make her appear inferior. Notwithstanding the fact that gradually unraveling the illusion before her eyes through her innate powers and ultimately exposing it to what it truly was already a remarkable feat in itself. Controlling people's minds, even without the shadows, is still not beyond me. It just takes more effort. You could say that me being able to control people's mind was a facade that I was willing to show you from the very beginning. Come, let us see what exactly has been happening here. If you're lucky, you might even get to see the parts that I'm not willing to show. Yes, ma'am, I'll follow your lead. If that person from the Bai family wasn't just bragging. I still can recognize them. The people on Shopping Street, the public officers. I think there are still people there. It seems they were bitten by a monster. Although Shadow Calamities will spawn beast-like monsters, that Bai guy announced that he had witnessed the terror of Shadow Calamities, yet did nothing to remedy the situation. How tasteless. The girl recalled the power that could create an imitation of the entire street. Did he lose himself because he had attained great power, or did he fail? Are you all shadows too? There's really no escape for us after all. It was right for a lantern to kick you out. Stop bouncing around. As soon as she spoke, Aurora suddenly froze in place, and her vacant eyes gradually regained focus. Strange. Why was I? What did you do? I don't feel like explaining. And also, mind your manners. How can I be of service? Tell me what happened. The shadows. The street suddenly went crazy, and countless shadows. I've never seen anything like it. It was even worse than before. In the end, it's the same old. Tend to your wounds, then seek out other survivors. After all, you were once a member of the Lantern. You should maintain some dignity. As you wish, milady. Wait, how did you know that I... Oh, you really don't remember anything from before, do you? Well, for them, those things never happened in the first place. Lady Selima, what should we... Looks like we have a guest. Little Ch, when someone tries to lure you into a trap, just turn the table on them. But they certainly do have some nerve. Indeed, the power of the shadow is most annoying at times like this. Dad, don't die. Please don't leave me. Look at yourself. From today onward, you're supposed to be head of the Nutrisco family. We'll take care of everything for the time being. But you absolutely can't let others see you like this. Go back to your room. How boring. Even she herself couldn't say why the sin had taken such a deep root in her heart. Fundamentally, this was of course the most well-known characteristic of the 10 phases of misery calamity, the ability to effortlessly manipulate people's fear. But this sin before her, it wasn't even something that had once happened. When the previous head of the Nutrisco family passed away, Selima had already grown up and would never have made a scene crying in public. Perhaps after my father's death, I'm still a child deep down in my heart, and that's why my fear manifests in this way. This might very well be a reasonable explanation, but for Selima Nutrisco, it cannot be part of her reality. In her own eyes, this was merely a side effect of truly wielding power. James, Aura, and Songque, dealing with these small fries is a piece of cake. Indeed, for future generations, it was only after the event of Amber Street tonight that the concept of Shu was truly established and regulated. The means they used to conquer their own fears and the 10 phases of misery would also become their most renowned feats. But herein lies the problem. No matter how you look at it, the title of pleasure that the girl would possess in the future could never be associated with the methods of controlling the mind. You're all pets of mine. After having done so much, it's time for you to have some pleasure too. Lady Selima. Before the girl could finish her heartwarming words, a chain had already connected her to Selima without her noticing. Following its own rules, a shadow flowed from Songque along the chain towards Selima. More accurately, it was being absorbed by Selima. I've already told you, didn't I? Next, it's time for the master to enter the stage. For Thelema, controlling others was merely a prelude to the feast. In a way that resembled a fear gathering, she could combine the abilities of her servants and do things that ordinary people couldn't do. Though this was a simple application of her powers compared to her subsequent actions, right now it was also the most effective one. Of course, if it weren't for the current circumstances, she would have preferred to abide by her family status and solve everything through domination alone. But amidst the seemingly flawless process, there was a fundamental anomaly that shouldn't have appeared. In just a few seconds of absorption, Ch1, who had been lively moments ago, lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground. What's going on? I should have only used but a small fraction of your power. So, that was all you had? Even glass isn't this fragile. Never mind. The chain extended once again, but this time it wasn't for the purpose of controlling the target, but to transfer something. Although it was a very brief fight, Ch1 had indeed been completely drained by it, and in order to ensure her safety at this moment, everything that had just happened had to be reversed. And compared to the power Thelema had taken earlier, what she was giving now could be considered many times more. Alright, you just wait here. I must say, I wasn't wrong. You're more suited to be a pet than a servant. But even as a pet, once she confirmed that she had transferred enough power, and that the girl wouldn't be bothered by ordinary monsters in her absence, Thelema stood up straight. Then she looked towards the hazy horizon. If, even after obtaining that kind of power, you can still be called bad, listen carefully, Baiji. Once you presented me with such a spectacle, there's probably no reason why you shouldn't be keeping an eye on me. Most people can't control themselves, so they willingly give their power to people like us. That's why the nobles can become nobles, isn't it? But let's be clear, don't think for a moment that I'm any different from them. As for me, I'm just one of those selfish and self-interested people, so I have a tendency to protect what's mine. She glanced at the girl lying unconscious on the ground. You better not touch what's mine, understand? Considering their nature, it's equivalent to offending me personally, and for that, you can probably guess the consequences. But after that, I suppose in a drama such as this, it's not befitting to talk about some serious matters. Even shadows can do that. This isn't the real Amber Street.
值一提。
It is not worth mentioning. Good. In exchange for your loyalty, no one will be able to get to you through me. But sometimes, loyalty alone is far from enough. No, the street is alive. 白棋 you. Be it your strength, your skills, or even your fears. Everything is mine. Was the entire street really turned into a living thing? Or is it just an illusion? You're using them as your limbs. It doesn't matter why you did it. You shouldn't have resorted to such things against me. It doesn't seem to have a habit of tearing up its prey. But those wounds... Pity. Since you dare to come alive, then you'll have to serve me, just like any other. Back to normal, that's all. Leaving no trace behind at all. How is it possible to manipulate shadows within this range? Or is it just this is an entirely unprecedented shadow calamity unrelated to that 白吉? That's great! If only your shoe was still here. It's the same wound as before. This dog. Exactly. If evil is not eliminated, then take its place. That's the only way I can think of. Farewell, stranger. One day, I will sacrifice myself and repay the blood debt owed today. But before that... So everything we saw before was actually part of the Amber Street Great Panic. So, Songqu and Selima, you were both there all along. Well, maybe. But you saw what condition I was in. I can't remember anything. So it looks like the true pleasure is about enabling others to enjoy themselves, rather than herself. Yeah, offering everything you have for her to use, and letting her bear the danger for you afterwards. No wonder it doesn't seem related to pleasure at all on the surface. After all, she did plunder some things from others, with the methods of oppressive nobles. And also, since we all witnessed the end of the Amber Street Great Panic, after what the Toads did, the so-called servants still ended up... How should I put it? Well, I can't be sure, but they all ended up unharmed. And it seems like she used the domination methods more after she returned. Maybe that wasn't really the ending. Perhaps we just missed it. Indeed, for the unconscious one involved, or the ordinary people who had no idea what was going on, the beginning and end of the Amber Street Great Panic had ultimately become a secret hidden from the world. How it started and how it ended would be buried for 100 years, with only a few people knowing the truth. However, its facts were still quietly evolving at this moment. And it allows one to infer some clues based on the outcome. The preparation for the venue are complete, milady. And the guests? Everyone is waiting in the reception room, which is the Elders' Council chamber. Your mansion is really grand. I got lost. And that reception room is completely different from what I imagined. You don't like it? It's my pride and joy. You don't know how satisfying it is to see the expression on those old geezers' faces when they give up their precious council tables and let me fill them with my collections. The shadow calamity was resolved that quickly. Not to mention, I was suddenly sent out. And before I figured out what was going on, a group of maids came and dressed me up, insisting I attend some banquet. Alright, one question at a time. You don't need to worry about the Amber Street. To be honest, it's of no matter to me. Thanks to your collaboration with the elders, I actually gained something. Being mentioned alongside the elders, not a compliment, is it? Alright, let's go. It's about time for the opening. Don't misunderstand. The way I'm thanking you is not by inviting you to the banquet, but by granting you the honors of witnessing everything. Honor of witnessing. Oh, I forgot to mention, I chose this estate, which is even larger than Ember Street. And the guests at today's banquet greatly outnumber the total population there. Although I'm not really interested in doing something tasteless as creating a huge monster. The mysterious person from the Bai family, I did track him down. As for his apology, it seems quite fitting for some intriguing activities.